We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some big news regarding John Cena, as well as the current United States Champion Theory. Now, as most of you are likely well aware, Vince McMahon and WWE have really begun and kickstarted the big push of Theory, an up-and-coming superstar that WWE clearly sees massive potential in, and some fans have pointed out some similarities between Theory and John Cena, and their career trajectories in WWE, especially since Theory won the United States Championship. Quite fittingly, it was recently revealed that Vince McMahon reportedly views Theory as the new version of John Cena, which does make a lot of sense given Theory's strong push in WWE as of late, and it was stated that Vince intends to give Theory everything he needs to really break out as a star in WWE and truly become the next John Cena. Theory is still incredibly young at 24 years of age and is already very talented, so his future does look to be extremely bright. So if Theory can avoid major injuries or things of that nature, it is likely that WWE will continue the major push of Theory over the next few years. And with Roman Reigns' future in WWE seeming more and more bleak, which we will discuss later following the news coming out of WrestleMania Backlash tonight, the company are certainly in need of some fresh new stars to potentially take over the top spot once Roman Reigns does leave. Now, what does Theory's push in WWE have to do with John Cena? Well, according to a big new backstage report, WWE are already in the process of planning out John Cena's return to WWE, and with the rumored potential plans going around right now, Vince McMahon is planning a big clash between John Cena and the supposed new version of John Cena, Austin Theory, in the very near future. Theory and John Cena have already sort of kickstarted the rivalry or feud with some intriguing interactions on social media recently, following Theory's US title win, and even though WWE are likely planning a future match between the two, all signs point to John Cena being a big fan and supporter of Theory, and feels that he can become a big star in WWE under the right circumstances. And it is likely that John Cena is a fan of the idea of working a storyline with Theory in the future. Now, as far as when WWE would actually plan to be building up a big match between Theory and John Cena, apparently it is unlikely that this feud will materialize this year in 2022. And instead, current backstage reports indicate that Vince McMahon wants this match between Theory and John Cena to possibly take place at WrestleMania 39 next year in Hollywood. While some fans may be disappointed to find out that John Cena most likely will not be returning to WWE this year because of his insanely busy schedule in Hollywood right now, WWE are apparently considering a major return storyline for John Cena with Theory next year. And by all means, this would be a huge opportunity for Theory to work with a true legend in John Cena. And if you didn't know, Theory idolized John Cena growing up, and Cena was a huge inspiration for Theory as well to pursue this career in wrestling and sports entertainment. Let us know your thoughts on WWE's extremely high expectations of Theory to become the company's new version of John Cena and a flagship star. And as well, what do you think about a John Cena and Theory match at next year's WrestleMania 39 pay-per-view event as Cena's return storyline or feud? Or would you rather see John Cena feud with someone else when he does come back to WWE? Do you feel like Theory has what it takes to become a superstar for WWE the caliber of John Cena? Or do you feel like the company may have too big of expectations for Theory at this point, and that he may not live up to the hype that he is the next version of the 16-time world champion John Cena? Let us know. Now, a lot of fans have been wondering what exactly is next for the former US champion Cesaro following his sudden and shocking exit from WWE back in February 2022, because by all means Cesaro was a fan favorite and a superstar that most felt like he deserved way more opportunities than he was given in WWE, and could have easily been a WWE or Universal champion with the right booking, but WWE simply refused to buy into the popularity and talent of Cesaro, and the company unfortunately pulled the plug on literally all of Cesaro's pushes, despite the intense backlash from fans. However, just earlier today, Cesaro had put out a bit of a tease on social media regarding his next move, with Cesaro posting a photo of himself on Twitter with a caption reading "Soon," indicating that Cesaro will be revealing his next move in wrestling very soon, whether that be joining AEW, Impact Wrestling, or elsewhere. A lot of fans want to see Cesaro make the move over to All Elite Wrestling, and in all honesty, that does seem to be a very possible next move for Cesaro. although the suspense will just have to build for a bit longer regarding Cesaro's next move. But fans are definitely very intrigued. Now we won't do a whole recap of the WrestleMania Backlash 2022 show, which did take place tonight, as we're sure most of you watched the show. However, we'll talk about a few of the key outcomes of WrestleMania Backlash that definitely do deserve some discussion. One of them was Cody Rhodes picking up the win over Seth Rollins tonight at Backlash, and in most fans' opinions this was the right move, as many felt like it would have been way too early for Cody Rhodes to be taking a loss following his WWE return. So it was the right call. And it wasn't even a clean loss for Seth Rollins, which is good that Seth won't be losing too much momentum with this loss tonight. Omos ended up defeating Bobby Lashley tonight at WrestleMania Backlash, which does prove to the fans who felt like WWE threw in the towel with Omos at WrestleMania that WWE are far from being done with the Omos experiment. And it seems like a lot of fans are disappointed with the way WWE are treating Lashley by having him lose to Omos tonight at WrestleMania Backlash. Although this was pretty predictable in all honesty. Edge defeated AJ Styles with a bit of help from his new Judgment Day faction member Rhea Ripley, who completely shocked fans by aligning with Edge, and Rhea definitely helped Edge pick up the win over AJ Styles. And that was for sure a very exciting moment tonight on the show, and a great way to utilize Rhea Ripley moving forward. A big talking point coming out of WrestleMania Backlash 2022 was the fact that Ronda Rousey ended up defeating Charlotte Flair to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. And although their match at WrestleMania 38 was widely considered to be lackluster, tonight's match at Backlash exceeded many expectations, and Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair put on a great match this time around, thankfully. And we now have a new SmackDown Women's Champion in Ronda Rousey, and give us your thoughts on that big title change tonight. Now, when it comes to Roman Reigns, the WrestleMania Backlash 2022 show was sort of overshadowed by the sad and downright tragic news that's been going around recently regarding Roman Reigns planning to soon leave WWE. Less than 24 hours ago at a live event, Roman Reigns essentially made it clear that he is starting to work into a new phase of his career, and that he wanted to thank the fans for their support, with Roman making it clear that he does not know if he'll ever be back to that area again. Now, rumors have went around pretty recently about Roman Reigns likely transitioning into Hollywood soon, but Roman has really got fans worried about his leave from WWE after these comments, as Reigns does not seem very confident about his future in WWE whatsoever, and this fact is definitely playing on most fans' minds coming out of WrestleMania Backlash. And if Roman Reigns does leave WWE soon, this really puts the company in a pretty dire or bad spot, as they definitely don't have another big star like Roman Reigns right now to replace the Tribal Chief when he leaves. So this is certainly pretty sad news to say the least on Roman's future in WWE coming out of WrestleMania Backlash.